So I absolutely love how everything's coming together, right? And this, I got faith, right? Okay, so I've been working on this operation. I've been slowly stumbling around, putting pieces together and building pieces from scratch so that they would be in existence to be on the chessboard. And I've been doing this for like 2 years now, right? And I it's nice when a project finally comes to fruition, especially something that is so entirely me. Every graphic design, every adjustment, every word, every everything, it's me. And so it's kind of like a baby I'm sending out into the world. I made this monstrosity, you know and probably to anyone it might be viewed as a monster, either in its sheer overwhelming size, or hey, if you're on the wrong side of the line, you're on the wrong side of the line. I'm not apologizing for your actions. Your inadequacy is not my problem. Find a way to get along, you know just everything's coming together, and I the more mindful I am, the more in the present, the more things just work out, the more I can't even remember what happened 2 minutes ago. The worse my short-term memory retention has gotten, the happier I am. And Lucky is my first dog. And just observing the behavior. I mean, because he and I communicate very well all the time, better than many humans, just because, and that is rebuilding the Tower of Babel. For anybody, any traveler, anybody that's been in a foreign country and didn't know the language and still managed to get by, you know what I mean. Words get in the way. Words get in the way, and because that which we should be clinging to within ourself is indefinable. It's that look in your eyes, be it love or hate. It's that kiss on the lips, either to your sleeping child or your lover. It is that for which words will always fail. And imagine the irony of that coming out of a woman so verbose. That in which words will always fail is who we are happiest being. Evolutionary psychology says the happy part is what equates survival, because that which is unhappy dies out. That which is weak, that which is a detraction from survival of the group, it gets weeded out. And as quickly as humanity is evolving, 5,000 years ago, we invented the wheel. Cool. 500 years ago, we thought the world was still flat. Wow. The past 200 years, we have invented the car and the plane. And in the past 100 years, we have known the stars. But yet, we know next to nothing about the ocean, and we know even less about the human brain. Okay? Everybody except for my psych team has thought I have been absolutely insane to say that I love my brain damage. I am a much happier person with it. I have been given the opportunity to let go of the baggage that buried my soul from before. So trust me, I've had a colorful life. Losing my life is what gave me my life. And it has been my choice. Do I see the scars, or do I see the beauty? That's my choice. And that's a choice I have to make every day, every moment, with every breath. Same as I choose to train and manipulate my behavior. Same as I would teach a soldier a course. And all of this in some sort of complex golden ratio spiral spider web of a timey-wimey kind of thing. I need to know what I know what I need to know when I need to know it. And no sooner before. And honest to God, whatever label you presume God to be, and whatever flavor you choose to experience the Creator. God knows this is far beyond me. I mean, because if nothing else, I am only human. And this is not only strength beyond my stubborn, driven self, but it is wisdom far beyond my knowledge. I died. What happened when I died's up for debate. But I came back, unexplainably. But hey, good luck, right? All right, the first time. How do you explain every inch, every step of my recovery? It is less than 3 years later, and I am more recovered than anyone ever would have dreamt. There is no basis of comparison. There is no context. There is no explanation. I have faith. I mean, I have never been religious. And I've always known something, and I have always been fiercely driven through some serious stuff. And I just listened, and then screams drown out the listening, but it's still our responsibility to listen. It is our responsibility to make those screams fade so we can listen. Because our duty's not over. Far from it. As the struggle polarizes, so will we inflict our own challenges. And the inflictions will last exactly as long as it takes for us to learn. I have always been very good at war. And so my lesson is to become very good at peace. I am only human, and I am learning. But my wonderful Sunday, thank you, God, was a gift in every respect from the Mount Vernon Universalist Unitarian Church. That was an anxious challenge for me. Down to my beloved Lucky that saves my life daily. Down to a friend hanging out at his house for a bit, and the gift of this wonderful woman I meet and have this amazing conversation with about some really kind of very interesting operational plans happens to be, I believe, a gift from God. Because peace, it's all about the soapstone. It's all about that little bit of nothing that brings people together, and together they make a whole lot of something, and to have not only been able to create the concept of a Catch-33, but then to be able to devise such operational plans to execute and assure, hey, we still don't know how to end North Korea. Not the way we're doing it. So what if somebody learns from everything they did right and then use it in a very different application? I'm just saying, I'm pretty confident in my operations plans. Just saying. History of the teacher and all that. All you have to do is be quiet enough to listen, for your heart to hear, and your wisdom to mindfully lead. The rest, people do things themselves. It's the American way. The irony of that is that, karmically speaking, we would say we do things to ourselves. Okay? Some might want to go with, religion. Say that humanity is made in God's image. Okay? And that God loves us. Okay. Whatever label or flavor you want to, these are general okays, right? Well then, by hurting each other, we are not only hurting an effigy of God, but we are hurting God's children. So that's a catch-22 of, we're kind of hurting God, and we're doing it ourselves, and we're doing it directly. And every time you could have, should have, or would have done something and didn't, it's a nail in your own coffin, big or small. It's about influence. It's about action. And it's about belief. Do you believe in your action? Do you believe God would approve of your action? You see, that's where we cross over into things like the Middle East and terrorism and ISIS and all this kind of stuff. It's because guess what? It's an ideological war. No matter two ways you slice it, there may be a gun in hand, there may not. I don't care. It's a war of ideology. So guess what? You could choose to stand and fight the guys with the guns, or you could simply rip the rug out from under them and give them nowhere to stand. They cannot fight a war of ideology if we agree. Wow. All right. So now we've got big, and then through coming back to center with nature and with spirituality and with whatever people choose to believe, physics, science, a nocebo effect, take your pick. I'm enough of a geek. I've got at least a little to tip on all these corners, you know? I got something for everybody, basically. And my cult of personality, I got something for everybody. And because instead of it being built on one person, I am building it on everyone, so that it is an organic, living, adaptive, cultural shift of influence. Without a dime. Wow. So now I just went from global conflict to very individual and personal by taking the exact same thing, big to small. Oh my goodness. You might want to notice how that resembles the shape of a wormhole. Then you can link that back into the physics aspect if you wish. I trust you're smart enough to run with that on your own. Because trust me, it's some geeky shit, but it's cool as hell. No matter how you look at it, the catch 33 is the win-win. As a trained negotiator, as a trained manipulator, as a blah 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 with experiences I will never speak about. It's all the same thing. When you can reach within a person to the point they know what right is, then you must be in such agreement and sync and balance with them that commonplace, common ground is established, and from there it is simply negotiating the details. Okay, now you see how I took that now again from a very personal thing to a very large global thing and made it to a very academic professional negotiator thing. It's all the same thing. And us trying to pretend that it's not is what confuses us. One dimension, 1 point, one person. Okay, we're lucky if we're mindful enough to know what the fuck we're doing. Okay? And I put that in context with most people can't even answer the question, what makes you happy? Okay, so I'd say that's pretty mindless. But let's just go ahead and say we've got a mindful one. Okay, a mindful one then needs to be able to have another point. So we've got a line, A, B, straightest point line, straightest distance between 2 points is a line. Okay, now we've got one dimension. Wow, welcome to the first dimension, which is already beyond your nose, right? The first dimension would psychologically be equivalent to considering somebody else's point of view. All right, now if we're lucky, we live in a world where somebody will consider somebody else's point of view. Not very often, but fingers crossed, because we got to build from that to go from there. Now, no man is an island. That's pretty much accepted. We know that our actions and our behaviors affect other people. See, a lot of what I'm saying I might be using in different terms of negotiations, physics, blah, 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 psychology, whatever, you know? But this is all just to make the same example of whatever I say that reaches you here, that's what you catch, okay? It's all the same thing. No man's an island. So we've got these 2 points, all right? Then that's one dimension. Well, let's skip the second. We all have senses, so let's go to the third dimension. Okay, wow, that's out. Now think of a ripple. Holy shit. Now we just explained karma for the concept of our behavioral ripple effect, which then would go to reason a behavioral butterfly effect. I mean, holy wow. Okay, but now a butterfly effect. But wait, we're all dimensions. So now that ripple, yeah, that's linear. That's just now imagine that ripple in every direction, potentially infinitely. Wow, we are starting to see the ramifications and implications of every single individual's choice and decision they make every day, with every breath, with every step. Yeah, I'm trying to keep these things around 20 minutes max anyway, and that gives you the idea. Welcome to me, dear.